Happy New Year to you all. Today I spent some time working this morning, pretty much most of the day, on this strangely warm and thawed New Year's Day in renovating a compost heating experiment that I've documented in the past, and I've made some updates and some improvements, so I'm going to talk about what that all looks like in this video. For folks that have watched the channel for a while, this will look familiar probably. This is the greenhouse that I built attached to our home. I've made a playlist about the building of this in the past. I'll link to that here if you're interested. And in years past, I did some trials with associating a real hot compost pile right next to this greenhouse, and with a circuit of PEX tubes and a water tank that our dear friend Stanley is laying on right now. We experimented a little bit with running a small circulator pump to extract heat from a compost pile into this greenhouse space. This worked pretty well for us in the past, but there are definitely some refinements that I wanted to make, and some of those that I'll highlight right now, I've made the compost pile quite a bit wider than in the past. You can see it comes out, it's about maybe 6 or 7 feet in diameter around. It's not as tall as it was before, but I can keep adding on to it. So there's a lot more volume to this pile. The PEX circuit that I laid in is about 150, maybe 200 feet, so almost twice the length of what it was before. The circulator pump, which I'll look at in a moment, is organized in a little bit of a better and more efficient way. And I'm moving to using a solar panel. Right now I've got a battery hooked up to the pump to move water, but we'll have solar drive the movement, the circulation of the water in this system. And I'm going to save this part for another video, but we have a solar array attached to part of a Nissan Leaf electric car battery in our garage that runs backup for our freezer. And my plan is to have this solar array use a DC dump load, a water heating element, to add water into the system on sunny days too. Whew, lots. Another big improvement is I took some time and ran about 30 feet of PEX tubing buried about 1 foot down in this garden bed. I did that a few months ago, and there's 2 little blue stubs sticking out on that side. That's part of this circuit now, so when the water, the cold water at the bottom of the tank, is circulated out and into the compost pile for quite a long time, it comes back in, goes through the garden bed, and finally back into the tank. So more refinement to be done. I need to do some insulation on that tank. I need to cover this somehow. It's dry at the moment. I'm waiting for some rain. But I took a lot of video as I went along, so I'm going to stop here on this introduction and just show the process step by step. When I started, I had just a temporary flap of plastic and some nursery plants that had to move. So we dug those out and moved them along and started clearing the area, raking away the leaves and shaping the total boundary space that we wanted to work with. And here we've harvested some of the compost from last year's experiment. Beautiful stuff. I cleaned the metal tank that was used in the garden and moved it into position, and then stretched a PEX circuit from our home all the way up to our neighbor's pond so we could fill that tank. I used a little battery and a 12-volt circulator pump submerged in the water. With gravity helping a bit, it was able to bring water down, so I just let it clean out the pipe first. There's some old gunk in there, so that watered the garden bed, and then dropped it into the tank to start filling that up. It's a small pump, it's a thin line, it takes quite a while. As the water came in, I was able to see where the level was, and I slipped a board on the far side to pitch it closer to the garden. And now, as that's filling, it's time to start sketching the compost. Water slowly but surely, and then it's full. The beauty of editing. So there's an overflow there you can see with the red hose, and that goes out into the main garden bed. So as it overflows and fills, it can automatically water the bed. And with a little drill work, we can get way more holes. So this is old garden hose turned into drip irrigation. So that's running automatically, and Stanley is keeping an eye on things, of course. Great foreman. First layer would be some brush and carbon, wood chips, and now the bedding from our chicken coop, which is the main ingredient. Got wood chips right up against the edge there to filter, and you can see the first loop of pecks, one at a time, feeding it back over from the pond now that we're done using that water. Wood chips down in the area where air can come into the space along with charcoal from our wood stove, and so we have a real carbon-rich layer between the heat and intense aromas of the compost and where that passive heat will be able to sneak in. I'll get into that in our second video about this, how we draw that heat off from the air. You can see the coop has got a whole lot of material. This is deep bedding since the fall, and it's going to be great to clear that out. A couple wheelbarrows in, maybe 5 or 6 now, and we've got a couple loops with charcoal on there. Sasha dumped the kitty litter. We use old sawdust for our kitty litter, so it's completely biodegradable, and that'll add some nutrient and heat as well. Everything is welcome to cook in this pile. And here I'm taking another wheelbarrow load. So we fill up the wheelbarrow with the bedding direct from the coop and then use a hay fork to spread it over. And I don't have a lot of reinforcement around the edges of this whole area, so a lot of it is kind of designing and shaping the pile as we go. It feels like a worthwhile skill to develop, to be able to lay up piles without a ton of infrastructure. And you can see that PEX tube off to the side, and so we'll do a wheelbarrow or two and then lay another loop. And there it is with another one queued up and another load of bedding for top of that. So now near the end, the last few loops have to get organized and set into position, and that's fed through at the top. Stanley, of course, approves for the most part. And here I figured out a way to slide old garden hose that I trim with pruners over the PEX, and that's a way to mate PEX without having to buy new parts. And it keeps the internal diameter at full, so that didn't leak at all, which was a nice trick, I thought. Here's a little pump, very, very rough sketch for position, with a battery for now just to run water to test. And it's working. The first little goobers are coming through. I realized I should take the hose and actually have it off to the side for the first maybe 5 or 10 gallons, just to make sure anything that's stuck in the PEX or the old hoses can dump out before it goes into the tank, since the tank is so hyper sanitized and perfectly crystal clear, as we all know is the Edible Acres way. So here's a very rough sketch. I'm going to have to tidy up all these tubes and get them hidden, but the full circuit is running, hundreds of feet of water moving through that. And the last circuit on top is covered with the bedding, which looks nice and simple and tidy. We'll cover everything else up with wood chips just to unify and get a good carbon cap. And it used up every last drop from the chicken coop with the exception of this very, very rich aged compost at the bottom, which we'll leave there to inoculate our new deep litter method, which will start from scratch again. A nice simple wooden thing on top to keep safe for the cats, and Stanley approves of that as well. We'll get some burlap sacks on there. But that is the rough sketch in position. So it's not fully up to temperature yet because the compost pile is not fully moistened. I'm just going to let the rain passively do that for today. We're supposed to get a ½ inch or so, and then I can use a bilge pump and a solar panel to pull water from a pond to hydrate more if needed. Once it's moist the way it needs to be, I'll get it covered properly, and then we can start doing some real tests around how much heat is coming out of the top of that circuit after running through here and running through the bed, running into the water and the like. So there'll be update videos on this for sure. If you've got some suggestions or ideas, I'm really interested to hear them. And Stanley seems quite pleased with having that pad or that wooden frame up there. Once the water gets hot, we'll put a whole bunch of burlap sacks on there, some nice pads, so he can have a heated place to rest on nice sunny days. Thanks for watching.